My name is Ben Mitchell, and I've been an avid winter camper for over a decade. But what happened this past New Year's Eve in the White Mountains of New Hampshire still keeps me up at night. I've gone over the events 1,000 times, trying to make sense of it, but some things just don't add up. Our group was experienced. Me, my brother Ryan, and our friends Steve and Matt. We'd done this trip 3 years running, always picking a remote spot to watch the New Year's fireworks from above treeline. This year we chose Campbell Ridge, about 6 miles from the nearest road. The forecast predicted clear skies and temperatures around 15 degrees Fahrenheit, cold but manageable with our gear. We started the hike at noon on December 31st, wearing our usual winter layers and carrying full packs. The plan was to make camp by sunset, around 4 p.m. The first strange thing we noticed was the tracks. About 2 miles in, we found footprints in the snow heading in the same direction. They looked fresh, maybe an hour old, but something was off about them. They started and stopped at random, like whoever made them was appearing and disappearing. Matt, our resident tracking expert, couldn't make sense of it. We reached our planned campsite at 3:30 p.m. It was a small clearing we'd used before, sheltered by a rock face on one side. But someone had beaten us to it. There was a tent already set up, one of those high-end winter mountaineering tents, bright orange against the snow. No tracks leading to or from it, just pristine powder all around. Steve called out, but no response. The tent was zipped shut, no signs of movement inside. As the group's first aid responder, I was worried someone might be in trouble. We approached carefully and unzipped the door. The tent was empty. Not just empty. It looked brand new, like it had just been unpacked. Inside was a single backpack, a headlamp still switched on, and a journal. The last entry was dated December 31st, 2024, tomorrow's date. The handwriting was shaky, and the final line read, "They're counting down already, but it's only 3:30. We debated what to do. The temperature was dropping fast, and the next suitable campsite was 2 miles further. Ryan suggested we set up nearby and leave a note for the tent's owner. As we started unpacking, Matt noticed something else strange. Our phones all showed different times. Mine said 3:30 p.m. Ryan's showed 11:55 p.m. Steve's was stuck at midnight and Matt's was dead despite having a full charge that morning. The sun set as we finished making camp, but something wasn't right. According to my watch, it was only 3:45 p.m., way too early for sunset in December. That's when we started hearing it. The sounds of celebration, cheering, laughter, the popping of champagne corks. But it was coming from above us, from the empty ridgetop. Steve suggested we check it out. We grabbed our headlamps and started climbing. The sounds got louder as we ascended, but our lights showed nothing but empty snow. Then Matt pointed to something that made my blood freeze. Footprints appearing in the snow ahead of us, one by one, like invisible people walking. They were heading toward the orange tent. We turned back to our camp, but in the fading light, nothing looked familiar. Our tent was gone. In its place was the orange tent again, exactly the same as before. But now there were more backpacks inside, 4 of them. Our backpacks, covered in frost like they'd been there for days. The celebration sounds were getting closer. Through the trees, we could see lights moving toward us, but they cast no glow on the snow. Multiple voices started counting down. 10, 9, 8, ... They were our own voices. We ran. The only clear path was up, toward the ridgetop. Behind us, the counting continued, but now it was mixed with the sound of zippers opening and closing, tent material flapping in wind that wasn't there. As we reached the summit, our headlamps died simultaneously. In the darkness, the ridge was no longer empty. Dozens of orange tents dotted the snow, each one identical, each one illuminated from within. Through the walls, we could see silhouettes of people celebrating, raising glasses, hugging. But when I looked closer, all the shadows were moving in reverse. My phone chirped. Midnight. The silhouettes all turned toward us at once. That's when we realized they weren't shadows at all. They were voids, person-shaped holes in reality, and they were stepping out of their tents. We made it back to the trailhead around 3 a.m. The ranger station had no record of any other campers on the mountain. When we described the orange tent, the ranger got pale. He showed us a missing persons report from last New Year's Eve. 4 hikers disappeared on Campbell Ridge. The only thing they found was a brand new orange tent, empty except for 4 backpacks and a journal. The final entry was about hearing their own voices counting down. I still have the journal we found. The strange thing is it's blank now. But every New Year's Eve around 3:30 p.m., words start appearing on its pages, written in my handwriting, describing the next few hours. I've never read past the countdown. Some stories shouldn't have endings. If this story chilled you to the bone, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true winter horror stories. Share your own camping experiences in the comments below. But remember, sometimes midnight comes early in the mountains.